AI roadmap starts with the AI strategy. And AI strategy starts with your goal and your identity. What is your business about? The biggest job of a CEO is to understand his or her business DNA, right? If you listen to interviews, they say tech companies. Meta is a tech company, Amazon is a tech company, Tesla is a tech company. There's no such a thing as tech company. All companies are tech companies. You're just using technology or you create technology. That's not your DNA. That's just either tactical or strategical. Identify what type of company you are, what problem you solve, and who you serve. And once we nail that down, we can create some sort of AI strategy to see how AI can serve you towards that mission, towards that DNA, that identity. Instead of slapping ChatGPT to your business, we need to understand your business first and then see how natively we can integrate AI into it.
Welcome to the podcast. To getting started, what's your current sentiment and feelings on the state of AI? Are you cautious? Are you optimistic? Are you excited? And why?
Right. So I would say I have mixed feelings, a little bit of excitement, a little bit of, let's say, mystic sentiment about some of the AI hypes. I'm not very cautious about the danger of AI or the harms from super intelligence, all of that. But I'm more worried about a lot of people coming to AI with a lot of expectations. As users or investors or entrepreneurs, they hope to get a lot out of AI. But not being patient with a lot of the limitations of AI. On the other hand, I'm very optimistic and excited about the potentials of AI and the realization of a lot of these potentials in the past 3-4 years. When I started doing AI about 8 years ago, it was really, really basic. So you had to really train every model from scratch. You have to collect all the data manually, label them. All of that was really difficult. Since then, the progress was really exponential, especially the past 3 years with the large models, large language or large vision models. Very exciting things coming out of AI research these days. And that gives me a lot of hope that we are about to unlock some exceptional potentials of AI very soon.
That's interesting. I saw an article by McKinsey last year, 70% of AI projects failed last year because of a whole lot of reasons. And I think one of the reasons is the hype, the excitement, and the high expectations of return from artificial investments. Like you said, it's not a rush. Everyone's trying to jump on it. It's a gold rush and they might be disappointed, like you said. So I understand that point of view around being pessimist on the overall return on artificial intelligence investments. So what drew you into this space from philosophy, computer science to AI to product design and AI consultation right now? What was that major attraction for you?
So I studied software in college and then I was like, software is never big enough or ambitious enough for me. I want something more exciting and more abstract maybe. Then I learned about philosophy of science. I was like, science is already awesome. And then philosophy of science is going to be real big. So I'm going to go study philosophy of science as master's degree. I did that. And then I realized, you know what? Maybe I did not learn a lot about software in domains related to data privacy or artificial intelligence. They were kind of new. Machine learning was very new at the time. We would call it pattern recognition. And I was interested to learn about those. So I returned to computer science and software and studied that as part of a PhD program and did some research in data privacy. Slowly, I drifted into AI because it was really, really exciting, especially natural language processing and computer vision. So I did a bunch of projects in AI. And then I started working as an AI engineer. And at the time, I was working at a company. It was a door company. They would say it's a door company. They used to replace doors in the houses. Let's say you had old doors and you want to give a new look to your house. They would come in and replace those doors with new doors. But I kind of saw it as a home improvement because the result was not replacing doors. The result was the home improvement. So I was just seeing that business as a home improvement business. And I started thinking more philosophically about this concept of my work here. And one day I was looking at their websites, the catalog of these doors, all flat, no emotions, no feelings to it. And I was like, what if we could use AI to bring some sort of experience to people's minds? So when they look at this website, they can get some feelings, they get some experience about what it means to improve their home with door replacement. So I started working on that project, developing some sort of AI app that could show you this before after experience using computer vision. And at the time, we had a visionary, supportive CEO. He really supported our project. So our team built that app. And after that, I was like, what if I offer this capability to more businesses, to more visionary founders who want to transform people's experience in whatever domain using AI? And that's when I started Glissando AI as a company that provides not only consulting on the AI strategy, but also helps them take the first few steps, building the MVPs, and get started with their AI transformation in creating an experience for their customers.
I like the way you eventually tied it to the user experience, to the customer. How do they feel? Most of the time, if you come from a tech background, you're so just involved in the technical part of it. But I like the way you zoomed out to look up and store it from the user experience. And that was what brought up all of these solutions and ideas. That's amazing to see. So what moment or pattern made you question whether SaaS could truly support intelligence? From what you saw was something of a static website, and then you use computer vision and intelligence to improve that. Was that the moment for you that brought that question to say, can SaaS truly support intelligence?
So at the time, I was not really familiar with SaaS. So this is 4 years ago. AI still was very basic. Computer vision algorithm models, very basic. I was not very familiar with SaaS and definitely no idea about AI SaaS. AI SaaS is more recent. I guess it came out 2, 3 years ago. But I was bothered by the static nature of websites, marketing websites. So it was a marketing website, and the marketing campaign or a marketing channel has one job, and that's bridging the gap between a business and what customer wants, right? To educate customers, to convey this feeling or experience of what it's like to work with us, right? And I felt that in some specific businesses like home improvement, design, like interior design, things like that, you cannot just rely on basic software or basic web design and use pretty images to convey that feelings. There needs to be this computer human interaction built into the product. And that kind of unlocked the bigger potential of AI for me.
So now bringing it back to today, current state of AI, what are the fundamental differences between how SaaS works and how AI systems function? I just level set and bring that understanding between SaaS and AI systems.
Right. So I like to take one step back and do some philosophical analysis here. If you have a business or you have a workflow and you want to build some sort of software system around it, you really have a lot of limitations because software is limited, because software is rule-based. So you need to map out all the rules that you can implement with software. And that gives you a really narrow, limited vision about what's possible, what's not possible, and how to implement those possibilities. And for building a SaaS, you really need to niche down on a specific use case for a specific user segment and build a very specific product that only does one specific task. Versus AI gives you way more capabilities because AI is more personalized, customized, more adaptive and dynamic than software is because it's not rule-based, it's data-based. And it can learn from user behavior, it can learn from the environment and adapt and improve. So you don't have those limitations. You have some other limitations, but not those limitations related to software and rule-based products. So when you are trying to basically use AI, what do we have? We have a really well-established culture around SaaS. We know how to build software. So they're like, let's slap ChatGPT to our SaaS product and call it good. We have an AI SaaS. And that's just a disservice to the potential of AI because AI has way more to give than what a limited SaaS product can do. So one specific point is SaaS is made for a niche versus AI can be built for a segment. SaaS is built for a task. AI is really built for reasoning and experience. And you can leverage AI for building an experience and building a system and completing a goal instead of a task, right? So let's say SaaS example is you want to remove background from an image. Very simple task, right, in graphic. You can go out, search online, remove background from image, and you get a bunch of SaaS products. You don't even need to sign in or anything. You just do the task, right? They might use AI, but that's just a SaaS product. It performs one specific task, remove the background. But You never just wake up in the morning and go say, oh, I need to remove background from this image. It's part of a bigger plan. You have a bigger goal. You want to design a logo, or you want to design a banner or hero for your website, or thumbnail for your YouTube, right? With AI, you can build that platform that achieves that goal for you, or helps you achieve that goal throughout this AI automated process, for example. So it's not just doing one task, but taking you from point A to point B. And that experience is something that's unique to AI.
So from what I'm hearing, software is static, it's rule-based, it's just repeatable, it's just centralized based on a segment, while AI is adaptive, it's local and dynamic at the same time. And it's also powered by data. Can you unpack more around the importance of data for an intelligent or an AI system?
Right. So let's again take another step back. There are two visions in building a product. One is design based. The other one is evolutionary method for building a product. In the design approach, the visionary founder, Steve Jobs, down and think about what is the perfect, excellent product I can offer to the user. I don't know if that's true or just a myth about Steve Jobs, but that type of idea about the visionary founder is very common, that they try to perfect their vision and create this excellent product based on design approach. Another approach is evolutionary. You just create some scrappy P. It's just good enough to test it once or twice, get the feedback, and then improve it, and then finally build the final product, get more feedback, and then the product over time. So that evolutionary process is very data dependent. The feedback you're getting from your user is the data. In the design approach, you don't need none of this. You just sit down and think about the ideal product, and then you design the whole thing. But in the evolutionary approach, you need all these data. So that really shifts our mindset from a software product, which needs a lot of designing. So in the traditional software engineering, you have to start from requirements, design, implementation, and tests. So the design segment or design step of software development is really important. In AI, you need a lot of rapid iteration. You need to build something that gets the user some results, and then get their feedback, and then improve it all. So you have this cycle of collecting data or collecting feedback and improving the system. So your system needs to be adaptive. It needs to be more flexible and be ready to change with the next iteration.
So from one design approach, you're just working as an expert, right? You understand the product, you understand the vision, you deliver something that you believe the customer would use. The other approach, you start with something minimum and you work closely with the customer on a going forward basis creatively, and you continue to build and evolve that product. Awesome. And that's more data powered, continuous data, voice of the customer going into your system. And it's this feedback loop and the product begins to grow. Love it. Where do most SaaS companies go wrong when they try to add AI right now?
So can you clarify on the type of companies or the size of the companies?
So companies that are very big, they have offices around the world, and they're trying to move and adopt AI right now. Because of this behemoth, it's very slow for them to adopt. And what they try to do is have some sort of a quick fix to AI, maybe by just adding an AI feature with a chatbot, or just rushing through it. So if for an organization right now trying to get on board with this AI trend and be up to speed, what are the common pitfalls you've seen? What companies do wrong when they try to add AI into the system or into the product, into the way of building?
Yeah, we want to really distinguish between the stage of the companies, right? If you're talking about a startup, a mid-sized or large organization, or these mega large enterprises like, I don't know, the Magnificent Seven or something, big companies, they have a lot of pressure for the expectations of keeping up with the AI race. If you're talking about Google, like talking about Google Mind, Google Brain, DeepMind, things like that, they are the pioneers of AI research. Like, how come they're falling behind OpenAI? So there's a lot of pressure about keeping up with the trends. If you're talking about businesses that are just like startups, there's a lot of pressure from the potentials of AI. Like, how can you just not take actions when you have this capability of using AI to create the MVPs quickly, or your software product quickly with no code or vibe coding, things like that, right? And then the mid-sized to large organizations, they have this pressure from a lot of inefficiencies, a lot of manual tasks. They can use automations to improve their workflow, and they feel like they're falling behind in the competition because the competitors are using AI-powered solutions. So each segment or each stage of companies has a different problem and reacts differently. So if you want to talk about the bigger ones, let's say this discussion about Apple is falling behind this AI game. And some people say Apple is not in rush to build the latest like AI solution. They want to build the best, not the shiniest, I guess. And they can take their time, wait for the AI game to a little bit settle down, and then pick the best technologies, pick the best LLM, and then implement it into the product. And that's what they're custom. So that's one side of the argument. The other side of argument is like Apple is already behind in using the existing technologies, existing AI technologies that are 10 years old, like autocomplete or voice to text. There's just really horrible stuff in iPhone. Like they're so complacent and lazy with implementing the proven AI solutions. No hope they can, beat the latest AI development. So there's that type of arguments. And my thought is bigger companies, they just have more to lose. So they're not going to risk going after the potentials of some shiny object just because everybody else is doing. This is up to startup to do that. Startup have more to gain than to lose. So they can go and experiment, see what LLM works best on the, let's say, smaller devices, on the phone or on the headsets or on cameras and eyeglasses that have like pro stuff. And then bigger companies can, those startups, and then implement their technologies once it's proven. So that makes more sense from the business perspectives. Also, in the middle, you have all these smaller businesses, mid-sized businesses. It just makes sense for them to wait a little bit and get solutions that are standardized, like SaaS platforms that can do a lot of their workflow for automations or optimizations instead of going out and hiring for custom build. Again, it really comes down to their priorities and the pain and pressure that they feel.
So what I'm hearing, the different segments will determine, or the different level of the growth of the size of the organization will determine the strategy there. So what would you advise? So you're saying from a startup point of view, in terms of usage, you have to be aggressive in using the latest AI tools that have been built by the hyperscalers, right? The hyperscalers are very aggressive in building and pushing out these features. On the lower side, startups as well, you should be aggressive in using. But if you're in the middle phase, like a middle-sized company, like what should you do? Because you're caught on both hands. Like, how do you think about this and strategize?
Right. So those businesses need to be really business focused, not technology focused, because they have no pressure with keeping up with the latest technology business. Nobody expects them to be on the cutting edge of AI. And they also have some sort of operational business. They don't need to risk, or they don't have to risk their operational business for doing a lot of experimentations. What they need to do is to see exactly where they can AI and leverage the technology that already exists and is proven, and then get to their business goals. And that's what we do. We help businesses draft their AI roadmap. We have this strategy call. Say, okay, what is your business about? What is your long-term vision? What are the short-term you have? And then we map out all the potential options for them to leverage AI for their business. Not just leverage AI to say, oh, we got it like an AI chatbot, right? We look like the other companies that are having AI products. No, we want to help them to get results, and results means helps them with the business growth. Right? AI at the end of the day is just a tool for these businesses, right? They're not making money because they're having AI in their business. They're making money because they have a workflow, they have a proven business model.
I think that's a good segue into conversation and that you just raised. So now that we've defined the problem, we've level set on what SaaS and intelligent systems or building AI is today, and maybe we can talk more around the playbook for building in this new paradigm. What does a typical 4-week roadmap look like at Glissando when intelligence is involved? You talked about helping company deep dive into what makes them better around the business model and workflow, and help them define a strategy and a roadmap. What does that typically look like?
Right. Again, this is very contextual stage of business you are at. We offer different services: AI innovation, AI automation, AI optimization. And really, if you are a smaller company or you are a startup, you have a lot of for experimentations. You want to innovate. That's AI innovation that we offer, and we do the strategy call and this AI roadmap for innovation. If you are a little bit more established, you have some workflow that already works for you, you want to automate it, do the AI automations, and we only do advanced AI automations. We don't do like Zapier automation to reply to your emails with ChatGPT or something like that. We do really complex AI automation that needs a lot of reasons. It needs a lot of systematic thinking in it.
Would that be agents?
Yes, we build agents that have autonomy, can make decisions, and understand what's going on in your business. So they are like native built agents into that workflow. And then finally, we have AI optimizations for bigger companies. They have the workflow, they maxed out all the automations and everything, but they have inefficiencies, let's say 30%, 50% inefficiencies. Use AI models. These are more like traditional AI models to optimize the predictions, price predictions, sales predictions, optimizing marketing campaigns, all of that. So those are for a little bit more established, bigger companies, or for specific campaigns in those companies, be it marketing campaigns, sales campaigns, all of that. So AI roadmap starts with the AI strategy. An AI strategy starts with your goal and your identity. So I need to first understand what is your business about. The biggest job of a CEO is to understand his or her business DNA, right? If you listen to the podcast or interviews, they say tech companies. Meta is a tech company. Amazon is a tech company. Tesla is a tech company. There's no such a thing as tech company. All companies are tech companies. You cannot just say, oh, I'm in a tech company. You're just using technology or you create technology. That's not your DNA. That's just their tactical move or a strategical move. That's not part of your DNA. But you need to identify what type of company you are, what problem you solve, and who you serve. And once we nail that down, we can create some sort of AI strategy to see how AI can serve you towards that mission, towards that DNA, that identity. Instead of slapping ChatGPT to your business, we need to understand your business first and then see how natively we can integrate AI into it. If you are an ambitious startup, need AI innovation to offer a new value or new service or product, that's a different scenario. That's a different AI roadmap than if you are a mature company that already has all these services and all these pipelines and workflows and just need to optimize it. It's going to be a completely different AI roadmap for that scenario.
So from what I'm hearing is intelligent systems are intelligent workflows. And for a business, it's not just an AI, it's not just SaaS or AI. It's first understanding the business and the business model and what it's about. What's your DNA? And then once we understand the business model and map out the workflow, be it traditional SaaS or be it AI, could be some sort of a tactics or the tool to automate and enhance that workflow. That's what I'm understanding. So what advice do you give people right now, organizations, builders that want to add AI to their product, to their feature, to their business, but don't know where to start? Like, this is the first starting point you would advise anyone. For example, I'm a PM, I have a product, I want to add AI into it. I want to keep up with the trend and have all of these AI features. I understand my business model, I understand my customer, I understand everything. What would be that advice on this is the first 5 things or first 3 things you should do to get started?
So I would not say first 5 or first 3. There's only first one thing you need to do, and that's getting AI strategy, AI consulting to find out what exactly that first step is, right? So the whole idea behind getting consulting and thinking about the strategy and the system is to understand what is the most important action you need to take right now to solve your problem. What is your problem? What are the potential options for solutions? And if you are already talking about 3 or 5 different things, it means you lack focus. And that's what we do. We help businesses get clarity on their mission and a roadmap ahead of them to get to the results, solve the problems. Now, when it comes to building a product, a lot of builders focus on features instead of functions. There's this distinction between functions and features. Functions are goal focused, mission focused. Every system has one function, but might have a lot of features, right? And at the end of the day, people don't pay for the features, people pay for the function. As an example, a car has one function, and that's mobility to get you from point A to point B, from home to work. It really doesn't matter if it has a heated seat or something like that, right? Those are features, but the function is the mobility, being able to move you around. And when you build a product, you need to focus first on the function. What is the mission? What is the goal of this product? And then the features are the nice to have. Could be 5, 10, hundreds of features. You can add it after that. And a lot of people, they would say, yes, I like these features, but at the end of the day, they're not going to pay for this feature if the function is not there. So if you want to build an AI product, you need to focus on that function of your product, regardless of the AI component, and then see if AI can contribute towards that function. Don't use AI as a feature. What we see right now with a lot of, especially SaaS AI businesses or products, is AI is added as a feature, not as a function, just because it's not an AI native product in the first place, and they just want to force AI to it. And there's no problem with it. You just add AI as a feature, as a chatbot to your platform. That's completely perfectly fine. But don't try to oversell the product as a native AI product where you're just using it as a feature.
I like that way of explaining its function versus a feature. You have a strong business model, you have a DNA, and irrespective of what other people are doing out there, you're not easily drowned out and eliminated from the market. So a good description and definition of your function, what you're solving for your customer is important than just features. Awesome.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Let's close out with 5 quick hits. 5 questions I'm going to ask you. Just quick 5 thought questions that you can share. One is, what is a mental model that helps you lead or build smarter today? Like model, way of thinking that you use right now to lead and build smarter.
So I try to really zoom out and focus on the fundamentals again with this conceptual or mental model that I described here. To focus on the mission, function, DNA, whatever you want to call it, and zoom out of those distractive features and focus on the main mission of whatever you're trying to build. Don't use intelligence as some sort of distraction to cover up whatever you are about to do and distract users that, hey, here's a shiny chatbot. Look at this. We're so cutting edge. No, instead of that, try to build something very useful for users, regardless of where it has AI or not. I'm an AI engineer. I build AI product, but my honest advice is don't try to just force AI into your product. Focus on the usefulness.
Like
That's mental model. Yeah, that's my mental model for building products.
And that's good. And that's a good product thinking. Zoom out, focus on what's the need, what's the value, what's the problem you're solving for your customer. So just going in and trying to just build something with AI on top of it. Sharing that. Second would be, what's one SaaS approach that doesn't work in AI product design today? Looking at SaaS previously over the years, and now with AI changing a lot of stuff, what's one SaaS approach back it doesn't work right now with product design today? I don't know if that question is clear.
Yeah, it's clear, but it needs a lot of thinking because it's a good question. A lot of SaaS products are going to be still useful and keep working just because sometimes you need one specific task being done. You just need to remove the image of the background of an image, but that's a task you need to be done quickly. I use SaaS products for that, for example, right? Or just want to edit some voice you recorded, right? You don't need any fancy tools. You just need some SaaS product, some software product to get the job done. They continue doing that, no problem. But a lot of complex reasoning processes, the SaaS is not going to be able to achieve those goals without using AI and without using AI natively, right? So I was looking yesterday at they have CapCut for editing videos. They offered that into their platform. If you want to record a video or create a video from scratch, you can use that and then upload it on TikTok. If they really build this CapCut with AI first or AI natively, that would be really good because it connects the whole process of content creation. So this is not about creating a video or uploading a video. This is about content creation. And that's a very complex, intelligent process. And they connected these two apps together. You can create this content and then share it in one place. That's really powerful if that happens in reality. I'm not sure. I didn't look into the details yet, but that's a good, useful thing that SaaS products that are built for software and they're not built for AI natively, they cannot really do it. What they end up doing is to just add a bunch of AI effects or AI tricks to put on your videos. That's it. And they call it AI platform. That's not going to be helpful. It just frustrates users because they're like, if I'm going to use this tool to do the job manually, like, I don't care if you have a bunch of AI features around it, because at the end of the day, I have to do the job myself manually.
Oh, that makes sense. Thanks for sharing. The third question would be, what do you think the future of SaaS and AI is?
I answer to some extent. SaaS is going to be limited to more tasks, and AI is going to bring out more complex, intelligent heavy or judgment heavy processes that people right now don't even know how to do it. Also, with the AI, it's kind of hard for us to see what's the end goal or what's the next stage because it's unfolding as happening, and you cannot really see what's next in the next 2-3 years.
But to give a prediction on what's going to happen right now next year, what do you think? Because in 2025, no one saw that development. I think according to Anthropic, 20% of their code is being generated and written by AI. And they said by 2025, 90% of their code base will be written by AI. That I didn't see in 2025 happening. And that was very fast. So do you have any sort of predictions and thinking of what AI will look like in 2026?
Kind of hard to predict anything these days, but I think there's going to be, on the dark side, there's going to be a lot of saturation with mediocre average outputs generated by AI. On the bright side, I think there's going to be a lot of potentials unleashed by the true capability of AI, which is personalization, customization, flexibility, adaptability, all of that. And it's going to be a mix of these two. Well, I'm not sure what term or phrase I can use to nail it really, what it looks 2026, AI in 2026. I think we're still experiencing this transformation. We are in the middle of it. We're nowhere close to the ending yet.
What's one product that you've used lately that felt truly intelligent, felt very smart? You were amazed and impressed by that product. Like something you use for productivity gain, something you use at work or in your life that truly felt intelligent for you.
Yeah, I use ChatGPT a lot or whatever chatbot, AI chatbot you pick. They're pretty great. So some people do a lot of research to find the best AI chatbot or the best LLM. My advice is just pick one, whatever free, I don't know, easy to use, whatever you like, and then get really good at it. You'll see their capabilities over time. Like use these LLMs to do a whole wide range of different things, like designing products, from coding, from brainstorming, thinking, writing, drafting, all of it. And it just made me 100 times more productive. Still, the downside is it gives you a lot of distractions. That's kind of the difficult part, to stay focused, because now you have all these 20 different chat boxes open here, and your brain is like between 20 different conversations. That makes it a little bit difficult to have deep thoughts about a subject. But on the other hand, it makes you way more productive. Now I can work on 4 different projects at the same time, of just working on one project at a time. And I can work on a project. Yesterday, I started working on a Chrome extension project. I was like, I have this idea about this Chrome extension project. I haven't done it before, but I know I can rely on ChatGPT to basically help me get started with it. It was very easy to do it. Wasn't as easy as I thought, but still wasn't as frustrating as used to be years ago without AI tools. So I'm thankful for having that opportunity.
To me as well. It's brought a lot of efficiency, especially with research. So what's one thing that makes you better as a human, as a person? What's that one thing that makes you better every time?
That's a very general question. Like, I don't know. I need to think about it a little bit, but I think being more self-reflective and seeing yourself as part of a bigger community and a bigger picture makes you a better human. I think when we grow up, we tend to be really self-absorbed and looking inside versus outside. And in the past few years, I tried to have this transition from the within to without, or from inside to outside, be more reflective towards what's going on around me and see myself as a tiny piece of the puzzle. I think that helps a lot of people to unlock a lot of challenges that they have right now, because they're way too much into their head, and they fail to see that their problems or even their success is coming from some outside sources. I think that type of reflection helps a lot. Most of us have a bigger vision about what's going on in our life.
So that's a good one. Do not always internalize. So come out, zoom out, connect with people, connect with what's happening, connect with life, connect with your environment, with nature. Just zoom out. I think that's a very good advice, and that could make you a better human. Awesome.
It's very hard for especially for professionals who are really into their work, because they need to really zoom into one specific project, one specific problem. It's kind of hard to at the same time connect. So It's a real challenge sometimes, but if you overcome this challenge, it's going to give you power.
Awesome. It was such a rich conversation. Thank you. Where can people get to know more about you and your work?
Yes, so you can visit my website, glissando.ai. You can also search for Amin Rabinia on LinkedIn. And also have a YouTube channel, again, Glissando AI. I post some more technical or some strategic videos about AI over there. And you can email me at amin@glissando.ai with any questions you have.
Awesome. Thank you. This was a very powerful conversation. Final thoughts, advice, in relation to the topic or outside of this topic that you want to have as a closing remark?
Right. So I appreciate your interview today. I really enjoyed. I want to close this interview with this thought that AI is here to replace humans. It's a very dark message. I get it. But this is not electricity. This is not some other type of technology. We're talking about artificial intelligence, and we know intelligence is really human and very exclusive. And we are replacing human intelligence with artificial intelligence. You need to really understand this and use this transformation to your advantage, right? So you can be afraid of this. You can be super optimistic and hopeful about this. But I think the truth lies somewhere in between. Understand the threats, understand the downsides, understand the upsides and opportunities. And again, focus on what makes you a better human and then use the technology to your advantage.
Thanks so much. An insightful conversation. Thanks everyone for your time again. This is Intelligent Product Podcast. Bye for now.